Hello folks, today we are going to discuss this problem, remove duplicates from a sorted array. So it is mentioned that this is a non-decreasing array. So non-decreasing here we mean increasing. So it's already mentioned that this is a sorted array. So this is an increasing array but not exactly decreasing, because there can be equal elements as well, like this, right? It can be 1 1 2 or 1 1 2 2 3 3, something kind of that. So what we are trying to do here is we want to remove the duplicates, and we want to return, okay, we want to remove duplicates, and then we don't want to modify this array as per mentioned here, because the size of array may not be modified in some languages, and if we will try to do that, probably we would use extra space. So it says that we need to do it in place without using any extra space, extra memory. Okay, so let's take an example of this. So it says that if this non-duplicated sorted array ends at some place, so we would return this ith location where this finishes, and other elements, whatever is there, that remains there. We would not be able, we would not be worrying about that. And yeah, so this is the way that we want, and here are some constants that are given. So let's try to solve it. Okay, so let's try to solve it efficiently with without using any extra memory. So there would be a base condition. So base condition would be if let's say if our array is blank, there is nothing inside that array. In that case, we would just return it. In other cases, what we are trying to do is, let's try to initialize another variable k as it mentioned. So let's say int k, initialize with 0. Okay, now let's start a for loop. So we would start this for loop because we would not be replacing the first element. If the first element is there, we would keep it there only, right? So let's start it with the second element, which is I equal to 1, and I less than end of the array, which is nums dot length, and I plus plus. Okay, so we would see here if the previous element of ith, which means 0th element, okay, if that is not equal to the current element, in that case, because if they are equal, we would just pass. Otherwise we would add that, copy that num to kth position, because 0th element anyways we are not, so we would first increment 0 by 1, and then we would add the current element. Okay, and so we are always increasing kth, but the response we want to return k. Okay, so one important thing here, we can't return k because k is like the ith position, but the length of the array is like 1 extra. So let's add 1 to it and return it. And it would also handle our case if there is only one element. In that case, we would just increment it by 1 and reply back as a response. Okay, let's try to run it. Okay, what's the problem here? Start length. Okay, so this is actually, let's try to submit it. Okay, so we are able to run it in 2 milliseconds, which is greater than 73% without using extra space. Thank you everyone, see you in the next one.